Hey everyone, how's it going with you guys? So, I decided to do like a story time to read Diary of the Wimpy Kid, The Getaway. It's by Jeff Kinney. So, are you guys ready? I hope you are, because I'm going to do an awesome story here. To read out of this book I got for like a summer reading thing or something like that. December. Ooh, cold. Sunday. The worst part of having someone tell you about their vacation is trying to pretend you're happy for them because no one wants to hear about all the fun they didn't have. The only vacations I want to hear about are the ones where things went wrong. Really? I want the things that are happy, not wrong. That way I don't feel bad for missing out. Okay. Let's see. Well, my family just got back from vacation, and believe me, if I could have stayed home, I would have. But I didn't have a choice. A few weeks ago, this vacation wasn't even supposed to happen. We are just having a normal December, and I was really looking forward to Christmas. But Mom and Dad were getting all stressed out about everything we had to do to get ready for the holidays. We were way behind on decorating the house. Nothing was going the way it was supposed to. Uh-oh. I'm sure we could have gotten our act together in time for Christmas, but one night an ad came on TV that totally turned our holidays upside down. Escape to luxury, escape to paradise. Ooh! The commercial was for this place called Isla de Corrales, which kind of sounds like a tropical place, which is where Mom and Dad went for their honeymoon. And the reason I know that is because every time an ad for that place came on TV, the two of them got all kissy face. It makes me uncomfortable thinking about Mom and Dad before they had us kids, and I wouldn't have to if Mom didn't break out their honeymoon album every year on their anniversary. The night after that ad came on, Mom and Dad made an announcement. They said that this year we are going to skip Christmas and all go to Isla de Corrales instead. When I asked how we were going to get our gifts to the resort, Mom said the trip was our gift. That's nice. Yeah. So, I thought that sounded like a terrible idea. And I was surprised. Dad was on board with it. He usually doesn't like to spend a lot of money. And I was sure this resort was going to cost a fortune. But he said he was sick of the cold weather and he wanted to escape to somewhere warm. I know. Sounds like me. Personally, I don't have a problem with cold weather. In fact, generally speaking, the worse it is outside, the happier I am. Well, to my opinion, the worse it is out there, the unhappy I am. Most unhappy. I figured Manny and Roderick would help me talk some sense into Mom and Dad, and we'd put a stop to this idea, but those guys weren't any help at all. So I had to escape that we weren't going to have a normal Christmas at home. But what I really didn't like was that we had to fly to this place I'd never been on a plane before, and I wasn't crazy about the idea of locking myself in a metal tube. That's basically what a plane is a metal tube. Nobody else seemed worried, though. 2 weeks later, on a night when we should have been hanging up our stockings and sitting around the fire watching Christmas specials, we were packing our suitcase for the island getaway. Monday. We left the house around 8 on the morning of Christmas Eve. Dad was pretty uptight because he wanted to leave an hour earlier, but Mom said he was being ridiculous and we'd get to the airport in plenty of time. It was only about 20 degrees outside, but Roderick was already dressed for vacation. Like, he was in his shorts. Ooh. Cold weather and shorts don't really match together. It's tempting, but I wouldn't recommend it. It turned out Dad was right. We should have left earlier. Apparently, Christmas Eve is one of the most busiest travel days of the year. So the roads were choked with families driving to see their relatives, and nobody really seemed to be in the Christmas spirit either. Or either, whatever. Honk, honk, honk. What made things a lot worse was when it started to snow. After that, things slowed to a crawl. Mom and Dad started arguing over what time we should have left, and Dad almost missed the exit for the airport. He had to cut across 3 lanes of traffic, which didn't look easy. It really isn't. When we reached the airport, the main parking lot was full. That meant we had to park in the economy lot, which was pretty far. Dad said he'd drop the rest of us off at the curb with all the luggage and then come meet us after he parked. When we got to the passenger drop-off area, it was complete chaos. We tried to unload our bags, but the cops weren't letting anyone stop for more than 30 seconds, and that just stressed everyone out and made things worse. 30 seconds is not that long, so I understand. I had to get back in the van so I could help Dad with the rest of the bags. Ordinarily, that kind of thing would have been Roderick's job, but since he was dressed for 80-degree weather, he got out of it. He was lucky he did, too. When we got to the gate for the economy lot, Dad couldn't reach the ticket from his window. So he made me get out of the car to grab it. Unfortunately, I didn't notice that there was a giant slush puddle on my side of the car until it was too late. Splorsh. After we parked, we rolled our bags to the nearest shuttle stop, which wasn't a lot of fun. The sign said the shuttle bus to the main terminal came every 10 minutes, but there was no room for us in the bus shelter. There's a ton of people. So we kind of had to wait outside in the freezing cold. I probably would not want that at all, to be out in the cold all the time. I want somewhere warm. 20 minutes went by without a bus, and Dad started getting really anxious about the time. He said we were just going to have to walk to the terminal, which was about a mile away. Okay. I would have tried to convince Dad to wait a little longer, but my sock was starting to turn to ice, and I didn't want to get frostbite. Sure enough, once we got about 100 feet from the shelter, the shuttle bus pulled into the parking lot. We tried to get the driver to stop, but he just blew right by us. So we ran to the shuttle stop, but we didn't make it in time. Now Dad was really worried about missing our flight. I told him maybe missing the flight wouldn't be the worst thing to happen, but he didn't seem to be in the mood to hear what I had to say. And by the time we got to the terminal, we were both soaking wet and miserable. So when a pickup truck almost hit us in the crosswalk, it made Dad really mad, and he let the driver know. That just made the driver mad. And he pulled his truck over and stepped out of his vehicle. We didn't stick around long enough to talk through things over with this guy. We ran in the opposite direction and blended in with some people standing on the sidewalk until the coast was clear. Dad told me I could learn a lesson from this, which was to never lose your temper and do something stupid. But I took away a different lesson when got Heffley got in trouble. Heffley's ran or run. The rest of the family was waiting inside the entrance to the terminal. Mom wanted to know what took us so long, and Dad wanted to know why why she hadn't gotten in line with Manny and Roderick and held a place for us. So, let's see. It took 20 minutes for us to get through the check-in line, but when Dad put our big suitcase on the scale, the person at the counter said it was too heavy and it was going to cost extra money to check it. But Dad said the airline was ripping us off and we weren't going to give him an extra nickel. So she took some clothes out of the suitcase and stuffed them into our carry-on bags. By the time we got everything sorted out, we had a half an hour to get to our gate before the flight started boarding, and when we got to the security area, it was a total zoo, which means that it had a lot of people. There was 2 lines, one for families and one for business travelers. I guess Dad usually gets to go through the business line when he travels for work, so he didn't seem to be too happy about being stuck with the rest of us in the family lane. Anytime you add the word family to something, you know things are gonna be bad. And trust me, I've been to enough family restaurants to know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna read today. But if you guys like my video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification so you guys don't miss out on any of my videos. And also comment if you guys love Diary of the Wimpy Kid, because I did like a story time. I mean, you older kids would probably enjoy this a lot. So comment down below if you guys really, really like Diary of the Wimpy Kid, because I do. So, anyways, you guys have an awesome night, and I will see you later. Bye, guys. Take care.